Alright, first things first, massive spoiler warnings inbound. So, am I the only one who's a little irked by the ending of Furious 7? Alright, so for those of you who don't know all the details behind it, the way the movie ends is touching, but feels like a cop-out. So here's where that spoiler warning comes in, because I'm about to tell you how the movie ends. They beat the bad guy, somehow, and the movie comes to a close with the gang all sitting on a beach, and Brian and Mia, Brian being Paul Walker's character, and Mia being played, I don't know that actress's name. Anyway, it's Brian and Mia and their son, and they're playing on the beach, and they're being all happy, and it's this very touching moment of, this is what he's meant for, this is what he should be doing, not getting shot at and driving around and jumping out of planes and crap like that. And, you know, it's a good point. So Vin Diesel's character Dom tries to sneak away without saying goodbye. Brian pulls up next to him at a stop sign, says something along the lines of, did you think you were going to get away without saying goodbye? And they go driving off down a road together. And then there's a very touching monologue from Vin Diesel, which is saying something, because Vin Diesel sounds like he constantly has a chunk of leather in his mouth. And it's basically a tribute to Paul Walker. He talks about, you know, how he's going to miss him and how he's always going to be considered his brother. And it's a very touching and very heartfelt sort of thing. And there's a montage of Paul Walker and Vin Diesel in the movies together. And it is a touching ending, and it's really nice kind of how they did it. And eventually, they reach a fork in the road, and Dom goes one way and Brian goes another. And the camera follows Brian's car, pans up, sunrise, screen goes white, and says, for Paul. That's the ending as you will see it in the theaters for Furious 7. Here's my problem with that. The original script was going to kill Paul Walker's character. Brian was going to die. I don't know how. Nobody seems to have those details. They're not anywhere on the internet as far as I can find them. But what we do know is that Brian O'Connor was going to die in Furious 7. Then halfway through filming, Paul Walker died. A terrible loss for the film industry. You know, it was tragic, and I don't want to belittle that. I don't want to make it seem like I'm being harsh towards Paul Walker. He was a good actor. He had a lot of really fun roles. I don't think the Fast and Furious movies are masterpieces by any means, but they're fun, stupid movies. But Paul Walker dies, and it's sudden and tragic and out of nowhere, and I guess the guys filming the movie went, we can't kill him now. Yes, you can. So long as you don't kill him in a car accident, I think you're okay. They should have given him a heroic, balls out death, like pivotal moment, saves the day kind of thing. You know, don't make him die a wussy death. Don't make him go out like a bitch. Make him go out like a hero. Make his death mean something. And then you have that same monologue and that same montage that you have at the end that you already have, but have Dom delivering that as a eulogy. I feel like that would be a lot more touching, and I feel like it would be a lot more poignant, because it would kind of blur the line between character and actor. I feel like that would have been a much more touching ending. I think if they had killed Brian O'Connor, if they had killed that character off, again, in a respectful, heroic way, you know, don't kill him in a car accident, because that would be tasteless, but give him the hero's death, make him important in that last moment. You can tie that in. And there's going to be like 2 or 3 more of these movies, at least. They could have had this thing. They could have tied it in. They could have made it associated. And they could have made it this big thing, you know. The next movie could have dealt a lot with the gang grieving, getting over it, and you know, and all these things happening around them, and them kind of not knowing how to handle Brian's death. And it would have been extra powerful, because there's a scene where they're at Han's funeral. Roman, who's played by Tyrese Gibson and is the worst character in the films, turns to Brian and says, promise me there won't be any more funerals, man. If they had killed Brian, That would have been so much more powerful because they could have given Roman an actual story arc, an actual character arc, an actual development and a personality outside of just being worthless. That would have been so much better than what they did. I still think the ending is very touching. I still think it was, kind of heart-wrenching to watch, but I feel like it was a cop-out. And I feel like they could have done better. So I'd like to know your opinion on it because I've talked to some people about it and I've gotten a lot of mixed reviews, but I would like to know what you guys think about the ending of Furious 7. Do you think it was touching and deserving, or do you feel it was touching and a cop-out and they probably could have done it better if they had done something differently? I'd love to hear your opinions. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.